Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in this video I'm gonna talk about how you can show PDF files in your Flutter application using an URL or probably from an asset. So basically you can put it inside your Flutter application, or you can use some URL to maybe first download it and then show it. So this video will be about that. So a lot of you actually requested for it, and you also wanted to know if there is a good library for this. So I haven't used it in any of my Flutter project yet, but I actually explored some libraries, and then I found this one, which is Flutter PDF View. It's a new one. It's not so old, but it works pretty good because it gives you a PDF view for both Android and iOS, and those are the native ones. So then there should not be any kind of performance issue. And apart from that, what I can get is that there are few things which are missing for iOS, like when there is an error, it does not give you a callback in iOS, as well as the night mode does not work with iOS. So there are few things which you need to be sure about. Then everything else works pretty good. I have used it, just tried it, but it was working good. So now I'm gonna just show you how it works. So you can see I have a very simple Flutter application which has just two buttons. One is open from URL and second one is open from asset, nothing else. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna use the library, and I'm gonna show you how you can create this. So if you'll see here in the code, then as you can see, I have just two buttons, raised buttons. One is open from URL, one is open from asset, and then I have two empty strings. One is asset PDF path and second is URL PDF path. So basically this library takes a path to show that PDF using a PDF view, which is a widget in the for Flutter. So what you have to do first of all, so there is one more thing. So I have added this assets folder where I have this my PDF file. So before proceeding, we will go back to pubspec.yml. Here we need to add some dependencies. So first dependency which I'm gonna add is Flutter PDF View, which is the view which we want. Then second, it will be path provider. Why we need this? Because we want to save everything in a file, and for making a file we need to read the application directory, and for that we need the path provider so that we can store it locally. And third one is HTTP, so that we can fetch the URL from where we will get the PDF file. Then I have also added the assets, so I need to just mention that I'm gonna use some assets. So, and there should be some image assets thing. I don't know if I deleted that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'll probably add something like this, assets, and then I can just say this assets. It should work. Yes. Now if I'll just do the get packages, then it should get me all the packages. Now I'm just gonna go in the main.dart quickly, and I'll do some changes. So this is my app state class, where that we get this init state, where I want to fetch from the asset as well as from the URL. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a method here first of all. So that will be get file from asset. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass the asset name. So here I can just say string asset. Okay, and now what I want to access the asset, what you need to do. So first of all, let's add a try catch block, so that if we get any kind of exception, then we can just throw it. So throw exception, and the exception, let's say error, maybe you can write something like opening asset file. Okay, so this will be first thing. Now what you need to do, you need to load the asset. So for that, first of all, what we will do, we will load the asset, and then we will make a file, and then we will add that asset to that file, and then we can return that file. Okay, So first of all, to loading the asset, we can write, let's say we need the data, so we can use so it is an asynchronous method, so we can use something like await root bundle. So if you have watched my local JSON video, then I have used their root bundle dot load, and I can provide the asset name here. So it's asset slash my pdf dot pdf. So this is the asset, okay, and this is the same name which will come from this asset. So I can just directly replace it here, and it should work for me, correct? Now what I want, I have this data now. Now I have to convert it into uint list. So that's how I will get the data in bytes. So let's say I want to convert it into bytes. So what I can write, bytes, and then what I have to do, I'll just say data dot, there is a property called buffer, and then you can get as uint list, which will give you the list of these uint which makes bytes. Okay, now you have the data in bytes. Now first of all, let's access the main directory, application directory. So we can just say await get application directory. So no, it's not coming. Get application documents directory, something like this. So sometimes IntelliSense doesn't work, or we haven't included in the path. Let's see. Yeah, so let's add those path as well. Import so this is the path provider. So yeah, it's fine. Now let's import the Flutter PDF viewer as well, this one. Now also import the http package. So http/http.dart as http. Now we are done with this part. Now let's go back here. Now we have the current application document directory. Now what I want to create a file. So I'll create a file, new file. Now I have to give the path to this file, and this file is a part of the IO library. So I have to import that IO library. Now I can just use this directory dot path, and then I can use slash, and I can give the PDF name. So it's already my pdf.pdf. So whatever you want to say, you can say it here. Now I have the file, I have the bytes. Now I have to make the asset file by writing to that bytes. Okay, so I can just say await file dot write as bytes, and I can pass the bytes. When I will get the file, because it is awaiting for it, then I can just return the asset file. That's what you have to do. And then in the init method, after this super call, what I can do, because it is returning a file which is a future file, so I can also write something like this, future file, so that I can get IntelliSense to work. Now here what I can do, I can say get file from asset. I will pass the asset, which is asset slash my pdf.pdf, and then dot then it will return me a file for sure. And then what you can do here, when you get the file, you will do a set state, so that you can rebuild the build method, and then you can add maybe the asset path. So asset pdf path is equal to f dot, it should give you the path. So this is what you have to do. Now this is for getting the file from the local asset. Now let's say if you want to get it from a URL, I'm just gonna copy it, I'm gonna paste it, get file from URL. So rather than asset, it will have the URL. Okay, rather than this root bundle, we have to fetch it from the HTTP request. So in that case, what we can do, for this data, we can just say await and http dot get, and we can pass this URL. So it should fix that for us. Now we have the data. Now to convert it into bytes, now this is a HTTP response. So if you will just write data dot if you will see property, then we already have body bytes. so it already gives you this bytes. And then you can maybe say my pdf online .pdf if you want to change the name if you are fetching from here. And if you get any error, then you can say error opening URL file, and then asset file you can just replace it as URL file. It's your wish if you want to do that. I'm not flushing it to true because I'm returning this file. If you want to just write and close the file, then you can just use this method flush and you can make it true. That's the purpose of it. So now I am done with this get file from URL as well. Now I'll just copy again this and just paste it here, and I'll just replace it like this from URL. And now it's fine. Get file from URL. This looks good. So my my system is running a little bit slow. I don't know for what reason, but it happens sometimes when I do recording because it gets heat, and it's a normal thing when you are living in India because you have to deal with the heat, and then it somehow adjusts the CPU in a way that the fan starts running and the computer gets slow. So that's what I could get. So you have to wait, so it will work. So this is get file from URL. Now if what I have to do, so I need to provide a URL here because assets one is the local path. So I have that URL in my snippets, so just I'm gonna just use them. If I can get it here, and I'm gonna replace it here. So this is my snippet. This is from where I will fetch the path, and now I should have the path. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna replace this asset PDF path to URL and this PDF path. So URL PDF path, and this should work. So let's do one thing. Let's also print them so that we can be sure that this thing is working, and then print this. And now what I'll do, I'll just do a hot restart. So let's see if that works. So here we have this, and so it's a little bit slow as of now. Why it's slow, I still don't understand, but let's try to see here if that works. So I'm just pressing hot restart if that works. Not sure though. So I'm just gonna stop everything. Also the code is not responding at all, I guess. So I'm just gonna do a hot the restart the VS Code, and then we will again go back. So just be with me. My system is a little bit slow today for some reason, the reason which I just told you. So so you can see the errors are gone probably. Now I'm just going to run this application again on my iOS app, and it should not work to be honest, but let's try. If we can get the view. So by the time it is not working, let's write a little bit more code. So when we will get the URL file path as well as the asset file path, then I'm gonna pass it somewhere. So if it is not null, then I'll pass to a new class, which the responsibility of that class would be to show the PDF. Okay, so here I'm gonna make a new stateful widget. So stateful, if I can get the shortcut this time, then it should be good. Otherwise I have to write everything from the scratch. So stateful widget. Now I'm gonna name it PDF view page. So what I want to do here, I want to first of all I'll pass the path here. That's what is important, final string path. And then what I can do, I can just create constructor for it. Now here in the container part, you can just declare a scaffold. The scaffold will define an app bar where we can say in the title that this is my document. Okay, then we have the app bar, then we will have the body. So before that, what I'll do, I'll so I'll have one more value. So in the body I'm gonna use a stack. Why I'm gonna use a stack? That if I will have the path ready, if I will have the path the file ready, then I'll show the PDF view, otherwise I'll show the circular indicator. So here I can show the PDF view, which is this. Otherwise, if let's say I can maintain a boolean here, that boolean PDF ready, okay, and by default it's it should be false, and then we will make it true. So what I'll do, so if it is true, so PDF if it is ready, so I can say if PDF ready. So if it is true, then we don't want to show anything. So let's say if it is not true, if it is false, then what we want to show, in the center we want to show a circular progress indicator. And if it is not true, if it is true, then I don't want to show this, rather I'll just show the PDF view. So that's why we have used this tag. Now this PDF view takes some property. One is the file path. So for file path we can just say widget dot path. So that this is the path which I'll provide. Then it gives us auto spacing, which we can make it true. Enable swipe if you want to swipe to just change the PDF and I mean go to new pages. Then it has night mode, by default it should be false. Then it has this property page snap, you can probably you can say true. Then it has horizontal swipe horizontal, let's say true. Then it has on error, if there is some kind of error, then maybe you can print that error, okay. And then there is some property called on render. So when it will be rendered, it will return you the number of pages. So we can just write pages, that how many number of total pages are there. So I can add a here total pages. By default let's say it's 0, and I can add one more variable, let's say current page, which is the current active page. So let's make it 0 as well. Now here when after on render, when we will get the pages, so I can just say that my total pages is equal to this, the number of these pages. And then I can also make my PDF when it is rendered, then PDF ready is true. And what I'll do, I'll just cut this code from here and I'll write set state, so that you know whenever I get this value, this build method can be called again. Now on render is done, but there is one more important property. So there are quite a few, but they are just a recognizer. On page changed, what will happen? So you can use any of them. So there is one more thing, on view created. So if you are familiar with Android, then there is in fragment you have this life cycle method on view created. When your view is created, then this method will be called. Here it gives you a PDF view controller. So I'm just gonna write that, and let's say it's VC. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a PDF controller, view controller, my PDF view controller, because that's how I can set different pages. And I'm just gonna say that this my PDF view controller is equal to this view controller, which is VC. Now it has one more property, that what if on page changed. So on page change, it will give you which is the current page, and then again the total pages. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do set state. That means just whenever there is a page change, just do a set state. Now if you want, you can also override the on page error. If there is a specific page error, then maybe you can use that. So it will be used something like this, on page error, okay. It will give you page, which page it is, as well as the error. So if you want, you can do something here. Now we are done with this part. Let's do one more thing. So basically we have to track we have total pages and we have to track the current page. So still you cannot see anything, but I'll just show you. So here in this k-fold we will add the one floating action button, one for going to the next page and one for coming from the next page. So basically there will be two buttons. So first of all, the main axis alignment should be in the end. So main axis alignment dot end, and then what else we want? We want that's fine, I guess. And then in the children part, I'll check if my current page, so I have this current page. So what I'll do with this, so I'll check if this current page is greater than 0. Okay, so the index will start from 0, the pages will start from 0. So if it is greater than 0, then only I'll show the back button, otherwise I won't show the back button or go to previous page, right? So I can write here floating action button dot extended, and here I can pass the background color, let's say colors dot red. I'm just gonna run this all together. Then for the label I can just say a text, and I can say go to this page. So go to, and for let's say if it is about we can use the current page. So let's say my page number is 1, so it cannot go to 2, right? But if it is the page number is 2, then it can go to 1. So current page -1. So if it is 2, then you can go to 1. So that's why it is -1. And then when you will press this button, then what will happen? We will basically so what we will do, we will use our current page and we will say that minus equal to 1. So this will be the value of our current page, and we will ask our PDF view controller to set the current page to this current page. Okay, I mean set the page as this current page. So this will work. And there is one more thing. So what if this current page is not greater than 0? Then we will just say off stage, so that we don't want to show anything. So this is for one button. Then we will add one more button here. So I'm just gonna copy this and I'm just gonna paste it again. Now for the next page button, we will check if current page is less than total pages. Okay, so we have one more thing, which is total pages. So if this current page is less than, then only you can move forward. Okay, then only you will go to next page. So here we will just change the color to, let's say, green. Go to current page +1, because we are increasing a number now. And then here also just plus apart from minus, and that's it. So we are almost done. Now we will run this application and we will see. So first I'm gonna run it on iOS. So iPhone XR is there. So this is my simulator. So what I'll do, so before running, there is one more thing. So if you are using this library, then your iOS version should be greater than 11. And because it uses the Flutter embedded view, which is still in preview, so you have to specify that as well. And it's showing me 2 errors as of now. Oh, there is one error here, which is the semicolon, and one here, which is another semicolon, which I missed. Now, so first of all, what we'll do, we will go to the iOS folder, we'll go to the runner, then we will have info.plist. So we will add a new key here, which will be that we are using the embedded views. So there is a key for that, and we just have to do it for iOS. So I'm just gonna copy it and I'm just gonna delete it, and I'm gonna write io.flutter.embedded views and preview, and we will make it true, which means that we are using this. And then I'll go to the pod file as well, and let's make it specifically platform iOS version 11.0 because it won't be supported before that. And you can also open it in Xcode to set the deployment target. It's specific to 11.0, otherwise when I'll run this it will give me some kind of error. So here what I can do, so it's loading. So here you can see I have this option deployment target. I can choose 11.0 from here, and yeah, it should be good. Now let's run this on my so we have to go to main.dart. Now let's run this on my iOS simulator and let's see if that works. If this will work, then probably Android one will also work, because the main problem stucks in iOS, not in Android. So that's one thing. So let's see, it is gonna take some time because my laptop is getting slow because of the heat around me, because of the temperature of this laptop is getting over than 80 degrees Celsius or something. So that's why it's slow. That's what I am assuming. The fans are running hard. So we are here now. Now let's try open from asset, and it's a little slow. My system is slow, not this thing. Oh, so it's showing some error, I guess, or not. Oh, so what we have to do, we missed one thing. So we have when we were clicking on the button, we have to push to a new page, and we will need to pass the path. So here you can see if this path is not null, then I have to use the navigator here. Then navigator dot push, and then I have to pass the context, as well as I have to pass the material page route. Then there will be a builder property. Oh, I remember that, that's the main thing. And then I'll pass this to my PDF view page, and then there is a property called path, and I'm gonna pass this asset file path, and then I'm just gonna end this here, and then I'm just gonna copy this. Oh, just gonna copy this and gonna paste it here as well. So now it should work. It's analyzing it. Maybe we can do a hot restart as well. Let's try if that works. So I'm doing a hot restart. The system is really slow for no reason, but let's see if that works. So just bear with me. Now it's successfully deployed to my iOS simulator. So now if I'll click open from asset, so you can see this is my PDF file, and now I can go to page 1 because it starts from 0. So this is my page 1. I can go back to 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the last page is 5, so it should not work after that. Then I can go to 3. So there are a lot of lag happening because of my system. So that's one thing, but it's working. So when you'll try, you can see that on page change 511051. So this is what we are getting, right? So this is working fine. And now I'm just gonna run it on Android so that you can see. So let me just try open from URL once, so that we can check that as well. So this is also working, the open from URL. So go to 1, go to 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is go to 4 or go to 2. So if you want to go to 4, then you can go. Now if you let's go to 3, 2, 1, 0. So go to 0, and this is fine. Now if you want to zoom it then it should also work. In real device you can better get that feeling, but it's if you swipe then also it is working, but I'm not changing the number on swipe, so that's a bug. Now what we will do, we will try to run the same in an iOS simulator. So I'm just killing this for the time being, and this also. So let's try to run it on on Android, sorry.